One day, Joseph's older brothers took the family's great flock of sheep far away from home. The sheep had stripped off the nearby fields, and the brothers had to find new green fields where the sheep could eat. Many days passed, and the brothers had not returned. "I want you to go and find your brother," Jacob said to Joseph. "See if they need anything, then come back and tell me if they are all right." "Yes, father, I'll go at once," Joseph said. He packed some food for the long trip. Finally ready, he put on his beautiful coat and started out. He walked and walked. It took several days to find his brothers. One morning, his brothers looked across the fields and saw Joseph coming toward them. "Here comes that dreamer," one brother hissed. "Why is he here?" asked another. Then they talked about bad things they could to Joseph. And they made plans, terrible plans. "Here you are," Joseph called, running up to his brothers. But his smile slid right off his face as they grabbed him roughly. First, the brothers pulled off Joseph's beautiful cloak. Then they pushed him into a big hole in the ground, a hole so deep that he couldn't climb out. The brothers returned to their campfire and sat down to eat. But Joseph's brothers, Reuben, didn't feel right about what they had done. He secretly planned to pull Joseph out of the deep hole later and send him home. Reuben thought about it as he went to the fields to care for the sheep. While Reuben was gone, another brother, Judah, looked out across the valley. "Here comes the traders," he exclaimed. "Here's a way to get rid of that dreamer. Let's sell Joseph to them. He can be their slave." So that is what the brothers did. They sold Joseph to the traders for 20 pieces of silver. At first, Joseph was frightened. He shivered and shook, and he cried. Then he thought of his father and of the many stories his father had told him about how God had always cared for him. Joseph decided to trust God to take care of him. He didn't understand why this bad thing happening to him, but he trusted God to be with him wherever he went. You can trust God too. You can trust God to be with you. He will be with you wherever you go, whatever you do. And He loves you, and He wants you to trust Him. Now you take a piece of paper and draw your hand on the paper. This hand represents the hand of God. Then you get a pair of scissors and cut the hand out. And I want you to write something that you are afraid of on this hand. Anything that you are afraid of. What are some of the things you drew or wrote about that you are afraid of? Remember that God is bigger than you are, and whatever you are afraid of is in His hands. You can trust Him to take care of you when you are afraid. You can always ask Him to help you when you are afraid. He loves you and listens to your prayers. This week, try to remember that when you are afraid, just close your eyes and try to see yourself putting your fears in God's hands. He will never leave you. You can take these hands home with you and share it with someone. Share it with them with our message in this story of Joseph. When we are afraid, we can trust in God.